Yo people, welcome back to another review. This time it's for Clash in Paris, or as it should be referred to as Trash in Paris. This event was pure propaganda and it was no different from just doing one of those live events that never get televised, because nothing actually happened in this. And if you disagree, then relax, I'll explain in the video. Now before I start as well, I want to point out one thing. Tell me if it's just me or if you guys realized as well. But for me, commentary was unbearable, and the show as it went on was just getting hard to watch in terms of commentary. It got to a point where I had to turn the volume down because it was just getting too glazy. It was clear as day that commentary was trying to dictate how the audience should feel about certain moments, about certain events, and this is all a result of weeks and weeks of atrocious build-up across the board with poor storytelling, which culminated in a dry PLE called Trash in Paris. Now, I always respect that all the wrestlers, they go out there, they put their bodies on the line every week, but it's actually just pointless doing all of that if there's no real advancements in the storyline or anything at all. So I feel bad that they have to go there, waste their time, and then people don't like it. It's not their fault, it's Triple H's fault and the creative team. But yeah, let's go on with this match card. And the first match, which was Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, they were fighting over shoes, as if Roman doesn't have enough money to just pay for those shoes like 10 million times over if he wanted to. Then he starts signing the shoes and throwing them into the crowd after the match. So what was the point of hyping up these shoes? I get that it was Bronson Reed's gimmick and everything, but ultimately they were fighting over Jordans. Anyways, this match, it really awakened me to the mouth service that Michael Cole and Wade Barrett were on for the evening. They glazed everything that Bronson Reed would do because they're obviously trying to push him as one of those main event characters, but because Triple H and the creative team have done nothing to prove that or to show us that, now we're having to rely on Michael Cole telling us that Bronson Reed is amazing instead of actually seeing it. And it looks like Triple H is now resorting to using commentary as propaganda to brainwash people and to convince the audience otherwise. And if you go against it, it looks like you're going against the opinion of quote unquote professionals because they are the commentary team. Even when Bronson lost, Michael Cole, the face commentator, was saying Bronson should feel no shame in losing to Roman. Who even cares about this? They were fighting over shoes. The heel commentator should be the one defending the heel, but I guess we've hit starvation nation when it comes to this commentary team. The whole match was doing this: Bronson dominates Roman, puts him in a grueling match, and yeah, whatever, the match was decent, but what came after was the usual stupidity. The usual attacks from Bron and Bronson. People from the back, they come out, it's like 15 people, they try and stop this thing, but they're just there as decoration. And then it's the dumbest thing that they can possibly do is not interfere. Some of them act scared. You're supposed to be holding this guy back. Why is the manager of Raw not running out there and stopping it himself? Instead, we get a backstage segment. Who even cares? Why are you not doing that earlier? And another reason why this whole thing about having the 15 people come out from the back and start running and trying to stop things is because it's inconsistent. Remember when Gunther made Jey Uso bleed? He battered him for like 10 minutes straight and no one came out to help. No one, not a single person. And then when Randy Orton wants to do the punt to Kevin Owens, then the whole team comes out and actually stops him. That's the only time I've ever seen these idiots actually stop someone, and it was for something that everyone wanted to see. As for Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the face of the company, the most dominant guy in recent times, the guy who as tribal chief could withstand about 10 finisher moves in one match and still win, that same guy got made to leave in a stretcher. Do you know how auraless that is? I know it's because he's going to go and film, I think, a Street Fighter for however long he is, but come on, we've done this injury gimmick already this year. After the Royal Rumble, he literally missed how long? Because he got curb stomped off stairs. It just makes Roman look weaker and weaker every time. This year alone, he's missed out because of 2 injuries, and it just makes his character look shit. As for the Bronson tsunami thing, personally, I'd rather get tsunami'd than have to deal with the coup de grace from Finn Balor. I think that move is way worse than what they give off. I think that move should be the one getting hyped. If you get coup de grace 3 times, then you're fucked. But they don't do that. No, instead, some guy belly flopping on you is enough to cause you to leave on a stretcher. Anyways, the next match was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and I skipped this apart from like the last minute or so because I don't care about the Wyatt Six. I didn't care about this match and I knew that the Street Profits would lose. When the White Six won, they literally got the bare minimum of cheers or reactions in general. People were booing before they even pinned. So once again, they got booed at another event just like they did at SummerSlam because people don't care about them. People don't want to see them. They need to lose those belts as soon as possible because they are atrocious and it's so forced. The way they're getting forced reminds me of Triple H's last experiment, but this time it happened on Raw. I don't know if any of you remember those people called the War Raiders. And on SmackDown as well, you got Melodome Miz, you got Andrade and Phoenix, plus the Street Profits. We're finally improving the tag team division, so I want to see those three competing for the tag titles, but instead we're stuck on the Wyatt Six, Pretty Deadly, Motorhead, City Machine Gun, whatever the hell they're called, and all that dryness. Get rid of all of them, bin about half of that division, and let's start fresh with Melodome Miz, Andrade and Phoenix, and actual people that actually can entertain. Let's move on to Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental title, and again this was a match that was forced because of the whole Naomi situation, and for that reason we all knew Becky was going to win regardless. And as always, the female division loves to deliver one of these. The match has to end with a roll-up pin. It's the same copy and paste formula as we saw for the feud between Becky Lynch and Lara Valkyria. So yeah, nothing really to get excited about. They had a decent match. Nikki, at her age, with the lack of momentum she had, she did a pretty good job for the most part. I know she did that fly kick to John Cena, but it is what it is. This match should not be happening so soon because, like I said in my preview, they were actually doing good building up this feud, and this match just got forced in. And now it kind of feels like Becky has to lose the next match. And I'll talk about this more as I get to the end because as we know, Becky appears once again towards the end of this whole event. Next up was Rusev versus Sheamus, and I once again had to skip this match. Now this is the first time I've actually even skipped matches for a PLE, but this is just how down bad horrendous we're at right now. I've already seen this match on Raw a couple of times, so why do I need to see it again? What, because they have weapons? I also knew that Rusev would win, so why would I want to watch that? A complete waste of time for Sheamus, who deserves a lot more in general and is probably going to be buried now for the next few months at least, as we're forced to have to sit through more Rusev segments, giving more time to a verified bum instead of giving time to people who actually deserve it and are trying to make their way in this company. Next up was probably the best match of the night, which was John Cena and Logan Paul, but the glazing for Logan Paul on commentary was absolutely insane. Never heard anything like this before, not even for people like Rhea Ripley and Cody Rhodes. Not even they've gotten this much mouth service, so it's clear as day that they're gonna push Logan Paul to the main event. He was already kicking out of multiple finishes in general, so yeah, it's inevitable. If you don't like him, tough luck. They're gonna push him all the way to the moon, and he will hold a main event belt sometime soon, probably in 2026. Michael Cole was even saying that Logan Paul is a top 5 wrestler right now, and people will fall for it and praise Logan Paul. If anything, it shows us how bad Triple H books everyone. If the roster was actually being booked properly, Logan Paul wouldn't even be a top 15 wrestler. He's just an afterthought if everything happens in place. But Triple H is focusing so much on Logan Paul. Yeah, he's actually doing well, but it's because he's getting the most time, the most privileges, the most of everything. And I'm not saying he's not talented and he can't reach his potential, but I'm just saying it feels very industry plant. If we're being real, he's not better than John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, let alone people like LA Knight, Montez Ford, Penta, Finn Balor, all these people that get forgotten about. The list can continue really if we really want to do that. But yeah, as for this match, I actually thought that Logan Paul was going to win this because we know how Triple H likes to chew on Logan Paul's prime bottle. But I thought Brock Lesnar would come out and cost John Cena so that the feud would actually have some consistency. But we can't even get that. By the way, why did John Cena drop the belt if Cody Rhodes isn't even around? I think this match would have actually been a lot more interesting if we would have had the WWE Championship on the line. Logan Paul versus John Cena, you get your tick lists out. Logan Paul for a main event title, tick, he's done that. John Cena gets to defend again, tick. But nope, instead, we're just having to watch Cody Rhodes take his little championship onto the Street Fighter set. Last but not least was the fatal 4-way that once again, we knew that Seth Rollins was going to win this and it would just be a matter of how he would win. And once we saw that Braun and Bronson got kicked out after the attack on Roman Reigns, a lot of people, myself included, said keep an eye out because there will be a new member. And this match, to be fair, was kind of interesting from a storytelling perspective. As the match went on, they made things more interesting, but again, we knew Seth Rollins was going to win. Personally, I would have never expected it to be a female. Of course, once we knew it was a female, it was going to be Becky Lynch, but I never thought they'd actually do this. And I'm going to tell you right now, if AJ Lee returns, which she has to at this point, she's going to cost Becky Lynch the Intercontinental title and obviously set up a mixed gender tag match, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. Again, this might not happen, but it looks very, very likely. If not, what was the point? I do like the idea of Becky joining Seth's faction and really having like a real life husband and wife, being on the same team, being heels, doing the whole power couple shit and actually winning. I know some of you will say, oh, but Triple H, oh, but Stephanie McMahon. But Stephanie wasn't a wrestler like that. This is the first time that we got two people at the top of their game, going heel, really married. And it's something unique that they haven't really done before. It's those two with Paul Heyman, Bronson, Braun. It's just a mess all round because there's no chemistry with Seth and the other three. It feels a bit disconnected. So maybe Becky can be the one to bring all of them together. I don't know. But I look forward to Becky and Seth in general. So yeah, overall, Trash in Paris. It was predictable. It was kind of boring yet again. This year has really seen the decline of the company in ways never imagined. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What did you make of Clash in Paris 2025? I'd appreciate if you could let me know your thoughts. I'd appreciate if you could leave a like on the video as well, sub to the channel, and thank you for your time.